Good morning and welcome to day 6 of Vlogmas. Today is a beautifully cold and snowy day here, which just made my morning knitting and Vlogmas watching that much more enjoyable. I don't know why, it just did. And I actually got quite a lot of knitting done. I was of course working on my hyacinth, and I was able to knit past the first color work section. So now it looks like this. I really love how these 3 colors go together. I did decide to use day 1 up here alone, and then days 2, 3, and 4 here. Then I have this color for day 5, and I will look at what will happen today and tomorrow to see how am I going to play with the colors. I don't have a thing with I need to knit in the order that I receive the advents. If I want to play around with the colors and change the order, I'm going to do just that. But yeah, I am very happy with how this is working up. I was a little concerned about the main color, that the tint would lose its luster when I paired it with the brushed alpaca silk. But I love the fabric that this is creating. I even went on to just stitch down the folded over neckline. I was tempted to just knit it down, but really this neckline, it carries so much weight, and I like the extra hold that a seam gives compared to just knitting it down. And as you can see, the neckline looks rather narrow when we look at it here, but it's gonna stretch out with the weight of the sweater. Also you can see the increases, and the change in needle size makes it just pucker a bit, but that's all gonna block out. Probably it would disappear only because of the weight of the sweater. Yeah, I'm always concerned about the integrity of the neckline of my sweaters because they do carry a lot of weight when you're working them top down, casting on with the neckline, starting there and just continuing on. Sometimes I will cast on after the neckline, knit the sweater, and then pick up stitches, because that seam will also give just a little more structure to the neckline. But yeah, this is working out beautifully, and I am so excited to see the next colors. So maybe we should just go ahead and open up day 6 of Camijo Knit. I am really, this is a completely new direction again. A yellow. I love yellow. I think I said that yesterday too. I really like yellow. Okay, I am definitely holding out to see what the next couple of colors are going to be, because I am going to save one of the colors to just do the bind off on body and sleeves. I did not do that in my sample. It was one of my testers who did it, and I really loved the look. So I did put the notes in the pattern that was an option, but I'm gonna wait and see what colors the next couple of days are gonna come, because I might save one of these for bind offs. We will see. I got a question about the hyacinth. And it was a question that I thought, I might as well. I, of course, answered the question right away. I got it on Ravelry, but I thought I would also answer it here because maybe other people will have the same question. It is obviously, as you can see, worked top down. It does have a rather deep yoke, so a deep armhole. And one knitter asked me, can I shorten the armhole so that, because a lot of people feel if the armhole is too deep, when they lift the arm, the whole sweater goes with them and they get cold and they don't care for the look. So this knitter was asking me, can I shorten the armhole? And yes, you can. What you're going to want to think about is that you need to reach the full stitch count before separating body and sleeves. So if you don't want the separation to happen here, but rather maybe here, then you need to increase a little more rapidly here. You could also take out some of the increases and just cast on extra stitches at the underarms. But you could easily increase the rate of increases for this one so that you will reach your full stitch count around here and then just separate and continue working it. If you do so, I urge you to take notes. Every time you modify a pattern, take notes, because maybe you are gonna be separating in the middle of a color work section. Then you wanna know, what round was I on? Maybe you're gonna separate in a main color section. Again, you're gonna wanna know how many rounds did I knit before I separated, so that you can make the same pattern on both body and sleeves. So anytime you modify a pattern, and I suggest that you do all of the time, but take notes. Please take notes, because it is not fun having to go back trying to count rounds and count stitches and figure out what did I do. Write down what you do. And yes, always modify. That's the beauty of knitting our own garments. We get to make stuff that actually fits our bodies and our tastes, our preferences. So yeah, just wanted to mention that in case anyone else was thinking that the armhole is too deep. It is really deep on the hyacinth. It's a look that I love, but not everyone are the same. So yeah, I finished, as I said, the first color work section, and then I did the increase round that follows immediately after, because now I have some easy in the round knitting to bring later when I'm going out. I'm gonna go visit my mom and my aunt. My uncle and my cousin are going to be there. I only see them once a year. At Christmas time, we will typically get together, and that's the only time we ever meet. But I so enjoy seeing them. So it'll be a wonderful afternoon, and I, of course, am going to need some easy knitting. I do have my socks. Of course I have my socks. But I'd much rather knit on my hyacinth. So that is what I will be bringing. Let's see, I have like stacks of stuff here. It's beginning to feel almost like a podcast. But let's open another Advent, just to remind me that we are doing a Vlogmas. This is the Dragon Horde Yarn Cafe Creations, day 6. Let us see what we have in here for Isabella's blanket. Oh, this is a Dragon Horde Yarn Day. This is such an interesting color. This is actually what I love about minis, because I don't know that I would buy a full skein in this color. I probably wouldn't know what to do with it, but I love owning this color, and I'm gonna love putting it into Isabella's blanket. It's beautiful. It is called The Ministry Has Fallen. I don't think Isabella is going to be able to guess that. But I am so gonna enjoy working with it, and it's gonna look amazing in the blanket. Yeah, the joy of mini skeins. It's like there's not a lot of pressure when you get a mini skein. If you buy a full skein of something because it just looked beautiful, I'm like, what am I gonna use it for? With mini skeins, you don't have to worry. You'll find something. The last advent that I have is the one from Pia to Pia. Day 6 of that. I wonder what I'm getting. Oh, I'm getting more gray. Yesterday was a shaded black. Now I'm getting gray, which is just what I need. This is actually a yarn that I gave myself one of the previous days too. It is the linen, alpaca and silk blend from by Kilarek. I even think this is the colorway 50 Fabulous that she made for me. I'm not sure, but I love this yarn. This is the DK weight that I used to knit my third Be Beautiful with. Wonderful summer yarn, but it's also working up beautifully in the blanket. And since this is a DK, this is one of the cakes that I can use my little yarn cozies for. So I'm definitely gonna put it in a yarn cozy later. And I did bring the blanket because I also worked on the blanket yesterday. This is my stitch marker. So this is what I knit yesterday. Crocheted. This would be amazing if this was knitting. Then I would have come up with something completely new. I mean, I do know of a crochet stitch that looks exactly like knitting, but I don't know of a knit stitch that looks like crochet. Do you know I don't remember the name of the crochet stitch that looks like knitting. It's a pain to work. I remember that one. That particular stitch, now I'm going off on a tangent, but that particular stitch actually made me knit from a crochet pattern. I was working, I'm going to put it here, a crochet sweater, beautiful crochet sweater. But it was worked with this single sender something crochet stitch that it was driving me bonkers. And after a while, I was like looking at what I had been creating and thinking, okay, I'm going through all of this trouble to get a crochet fabric that looks like knit. I know how to knit. So I did a swatch. I got gauge. With my knitting, got the same gauge as the pattern had for the crochet. So I just knit from that pattern. turned out beautifully. You can easily do that. There were some borders with some lace crochet, and for those I just bound off all of my knit stitches and crocheted in them and then picked them up again after. Worked beautifully. It's easy, you can do it, just need to swatch. But yeah, my blanket is still growing. I am using different kinds of yarns, as well you have seen, and I have also mentioned. The majority of these yarns are either a DK worsted or a single fingering weight held double. But I also have sections of 2 sport weight yarns held double, the gray. I'm so sorry. I cannot words today. They're escaping me. The brown row here. This is a sport weight that I'm holding double, which of course means that it's much heavier than a DK. I also have some Aran weight in here somewhere. The way that I'm making it work is that when I'm working with DK worsted or fingering held double, I do a cluster of 3 double crochet or a treble. Then I do 1 chain, and then the next 3, the next cluster. So between the clusters, I do a chain stitch. That gives me some wriggle room. It also gives a much more drapey fabric, which is what I want, but it also gives me some wriggle room. So if I'm working with a yarn that's much heavier than the rest, then I just skip the chain and I just work the clusters. Easy peasy. And it's a nice little trick if you want to do real scraps. I see so many beautiful, beautiful Granny's Dry blankets that are worked only in one type of yarn, and I can see it's beautiful. But you know, my heart really likes this extremely scrappy look. So I am really enjoying working on it. I am really enjoying the fact that my elbows and wrists have no pain at all. I attribute all of that to the new hooks. But yeah, so happy with how this is going. I'm looking forward to putting this beautiful gray into it. I also wanted to show you some things that I have received in the mail. Let's see here. First of all, I want to show you the yarn for my Christmas Day cast on. This is a simple, unassuming yarn. One of those workhorse yarns that you can always use them, and they're at a good price point. It is the Rosario's Romaria in a 100-gram ball. It is, let's see, it's 100% wool. It doesn't specify what kind of wool, but it is a rustic, untreated wool. And the color is 03, this light gray, beautiful yarn. I'm gonna start swatching very, very soon for my Christmas Day cast on. Oh, I should mention this yarn, I got it from by Kilarek. Also the person behind this yarn. She does hand-dyed yarns and some commercial yarns, and I got this to make the pattern for my Christmas Day cast on. So I'm gonna start swatching soon. I do have the pattern as such in my head. I need to swatch so that I can put all the correct numbers into that pattern. But yeah, every year for many, many, many years, I have had a special Christmas Day cast on. In Denmark, the big to-do is Christmas Eve. That's where the entire family gets together. We have a huge traditional meal. We will dance around the Christmas tree, singing Christmas songs and hymns, and then we will exchange presents. And it's a late night show. I mean, we will start the dinner at 6, but guests will not be leaving until well past midnight, which means that the next morning, Christmas morning, I can tiptoe down into a wonderful big room that just has all the marks of a wonderful evening. We will not clean up on Christmas Eve. We'll just sort of fill up the dishwasher and put things away, but it will still have all the marks of a beautiful evening. I will tiptoe down there. I will get myself some leftover risalamande, which is the traditional dessert for Christmas Eve. And then I will curl up on the couch with some hot tea, some risalamande, and a very special cast on. Something that I have prepared throughout the month of December, thought about, picked a pattern if that is what I want to do, or created a pattern if that's what I want. I have wound the yarn, packed up a project bag with everything in it so that it's so ready for me just to cast on Christmas Day. All of Christmas Day in our house is very quiet. We will hang out on the couch. Peter will heat up some leftovers for us throughout the day. He gets hungry before I do because I can easily exist on chocolate and risalamande. We will watch something that we have also picked in advance. We've actually talked about this year either watching Lord of the Rings again or watching the Twilight series again. So we try to pick something that is special, but not something new. It needs to be something that we know what we're dealing with here. It cannot be a number of unconnected movies. That's too disturbing. One universe, please, that I can get into and stay there for the entirety of the day. Yeah. So, yeah. Very, very soon, I am gonna swatch for my Christmas Day cast on. And I even have a bag for it because sweet, sweet Malene from Knitwear by Maki, who makes these beautiful project bags and sells them on Instagram, international shipping. I will link her Instagram below. She sent me four project bags as an early Christmas present. This huge one is going to be perfect for my Christmas Day cast on. All of her bags are zippered. They have this sturdy flat bottom, so it will actually stand up on its own. Very often I will fold down the top so that it stands even better. They have little pockets on the inside and a handle so that you can easily bring them with you. So this is where my Christmas cast on is going. She also sent me in the same pattern one of her small bags, her sock bags. I love her sock bags because they're larger than regular sock bags. There, you see, you can easily have 2 socks or the beginnings of a shawl in here. Beautiful. And she then also sent me another set, a slightly smaller project bag and the same sock bag in this beautiful pattern. So yeah, I am so ready for Christmas Day. One more thing I have to show, and that just fell on the floor. But when Henriette sent me the yarn for my Christmas Day cast on, she also sent me just one skein of this to try. It's also Rosaria's, but it's the Pupardo base in the color 03. And this is a color changing yarn. So I am thinking I should probably use it in a hat or a cowl with a main color and then some color work in this color changing yarn. I think that would be absolutely beautiful. Yep. So lots of things to do. I have also I have something that I need to cast on and finish in December. I'm gonna make a friend-to-friend shrug for my daughter-in-law in Texas because she really likes all of my shrugs and vests that I wear over lighter jackets. Like a jacket like this in Texas, I would wear this outside and then have a shrug or a vest over it. And she really likes that look, so I'm gonna make her the friend-to-friend shrug, and that needs to happen before we go over there. So yeah, but my granny stripe blanket and my hyacinth takes priority. And today I wanna finish the main color section on my hyacinth so that tomorrow when I open another color from Cami Jo Knit, then I can decide what am I gonna do with the color placement and get working on the second color work section. That was a lot of talk, but I just had so much to share today. I will definitely get ready, get going. I want to go buy some hyacinths because I don't have any hyacinths yet. I really don't have a place for them. Ooh, everything is just so small up here, but I need hyacinths. And then I'm gonna go to my mom's and have a wonderful afternoon. I will probably check in with you tonight just to show if I managed to make any progress on my hyacinth.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way.
I am back home from the visit with my mom. We had a wonderful afternoon just chatting away, enjoying some æbleskiver, which is another traditional Christmas treat. I was able to work a little bit on my hyacinth, so I finished this section of the main color so that tomorrow morning when I open my advent from Cami Jo Knits, I can start the second band of the color work. So for now, I am gonna whip out my granny stripe blanket. I'm gonna work on that tonight, relax, maybe watch a Christmas movie. Maybe Peter is not a huge fan of Christmas movies. I mean, he will watch Christmas Vacation, Home Alone, and Love Actually, those like classics with me, but he is not gonna just watch anything. So we'll see what we can figure out. I'm sure we're gonna have a lovely evening, and I hope that you will too.
I'm not wasting any dreams this Christmas. I've made my wish upon that star.